What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $600 second stimulus check update and $2,000 third stimulus check update, as well as the third stimulus package coming out today. I'm going to give you the latest details of that and the virus in this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos, and hit the like button for us. All it does is help support our channel by showing the YouTube algorithm that you like our videos. Thanks, guys, and let's jump right into it. New virus deaths just hit an all-time high 2 days ago on January 12th of 4,400 people in just one single day. This is more than Pearl Harbor and 9/11 on any given day just 2 days ago. And yesterday, almost 4,000 people in addition every single day. This is pretty much happening at this point. New virus cases are somewhat near an all-time high of 230,000 people just yesterday testing positive for the virus. We had an all-time high of 300,000 cases just on January 8th, 6 days ago. So we're at an all-time high or near an all-time high in new positive cases per day and deaths per day. Now, this happens as they're now starting to do new tests and new studies to test the immunity period of the virus. And a new test in the United Kingdom says that immunity might last for only as little as 5 months once you've actually had the virus. So that means potentially you could catch it again 6 months or later. There's also early evidence that suggests a small number of people with antibodies may be able to carry and transmit the virus, even though they have been cured of it. Pharmaceutical company Moderna and vaccine maker says that their vaccine immunity is at least for 1 year. But the Moderna CEO also says that the world will possibly have to live with COVID forever. Public health officials and infectious disease experts have said that there is a high likelihood that COVID-19 will become an endemic disease, meaning it will become present in communities at all times, though likely at lower levels than it is now. Quote, "We are going to live with this virus, we think, forever." So my personal opinion is, if this is true, and as this continues to be true going forward, that it'll be very similar to the flu, how me and my wife and our son, our two-year-old son, Julian, we get the flu vaccines every year. I know some people believe in them and some don't. We get flu vaccines every fall because it helps us not get the flu. And when we do get the flu on the rare occasion, it's a much less case of it, much less severe case of it. What I think may happen going forward, if this proves to be true with coronavirus, is that you may have to get a vaccine every year, of course, if you choose to. So say in the fall, when you go to get a flu vaccine, you might get a flu vaccine and also a coronavirus vaccine. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Do you think that this is going to continue on forever and it'll just become a part of normal everyday life? There are people that die every year, tens of thousands of people, in fact, from the flu. And coronavirus is obviously worse this year. But let me know your thoughts of what you think will continue in the future. Oh, and by the way, Ohio researchers say that they have identified 2 new strains of the virus that have likely originated in the United States. And they're saying that that's one of the reasons why this virus might stay around, is because of its ability to mutate, just like the flu. Every year when you get the flu vaccine, it's a slightly different vaccine based on that year's strain. Ohio researchers said Wednesday that they discovered 2 new variants of the virus, one of which has become the dominant strain in Columbus, Ohio. Quote, "This new Columbus strain has had the same genetic backbone as earlier cases we've studied, but these 3 mutations represent a significant evolution. And the new strain in Columbus appears to be spread more easily." On stimulus checks and stimulus packages, new jobless claims are in, and the jobless claims had spiked to 965,000 people that are newly filing for unemployment without a job, just brand new this week. In addition to that, the number of people receiving pandemic unemployment assistance, PUA, a special program that gives unemployed benefits to self employed workers and gig workers, rose 75% to 284,500 people. When you add this to the 965,000, that means we had over 1.2 million people just this week file for unemployment claims for the first time around. 1.2 million people just lost their jobs this week for the first time, and this is a huge spike up. In fact, the jobless claims on the 965,000 is a 23% increase from the previous week and the highest weekly amount since August. And this, coupled with the virus and the new virus strains, is just more indications that the pandemic is not going to go away next month. And this leads us to more stimulus checks and more stimulus packages. Joe Biden says we're in the teeth of this crisis and we need to take immediate action to get the virus under control. That's why tomorrow, which is now today, this tweet's from yesterday, I'll be laying out my vaccination and economic rescue package, aka the third stimulus package, to beat COVID-19 and build back better. In this new third stimulus check package, we're expecting stimulus checks of $2,000, either a plus up check of $1,400, which would make your $1,400 plus your $600 second stimulus check, $2,000 total, or a full $2,000 stimulus check. We're also expecting checks for children and possibly adult dependents and college children who were left out of stimulus checks on the second stimulus package. Also, I detailed a lot of this in the early morning video, but one thing I did not cover, and I definitely had a lot of comments on that, is the $200 per month Social Security, SSI, SSDI, railroad benefits, $200 per month increase that Joe Biden wants to increase, basically. Let me show you. Now, this comes from Joe Biden's economic plan, which he calls the Biden Emergency Action Plan to Save the Economy. And this is where we get a lot of details on what we think is going to be in the third stimulus package that will be unveiled today. So, increase monthly Social Security checks by $200 per month, as proposed by Senator Wyden and colleagues. Seniors and people with disabilities are uniquely at risk right now. There's also several other things in Joe Biden's economic plan, economic emergency plan that he has here, that we are expecting to also be in this package. Provide additional stimulus checks to families should conditions require. He's also said that he wants to continue with stimulus checks until the pandemic is over, which is likely going to be, hopefully, the end of 2021. He also wants to forgive a minimum of $10,000 per person student loans, as proposed by Senator Warren and colleagues, saying young people and other student debt holders bore the brunt of the last crisis. It shouldn't happen again. And provide emergency paid sick leave to everybody who needs it, with no one left out. This should include workers in all industries and sectors, regardless of company size, and include gig workers, domestic workers, contractors, and the self employed. Now, I am expecting this stimulus package to be at least $2 trillion. And when we compare that to the second stimulus check package, so there's been more packages than that, but only two of them had checks directly for Americans. That last stimulus package that included the $600 stimulus check was less than $1 trillion, was $900 billion, okay? This package is expected to be at least $2 trillion, so more than double the size of the last stimulus package that has just passed. In addition to the $2,000 stimulus checks that are going to either be in this package or as a standalone package, a standalone bill package, which we're already seeing Republican support for. Republican Senator Marco Rubio just yesterday sent out a letter to Joe Biden to send out $2,000 stimulus checks immediately to kind of bring the nation together and create unity and try to get us past this whole impeachment process that is going on, which has definitely not united the nation. Republicans and Democrats are completely like on opposite spectrums when it comes to the impeachment. One thing is for certain is that most people are on the same page when it comes to stimulus checks and stimulus packages, including economists who say that now is the time to spend money. Number one, interest rates are at or near an all time low of near zero in certain cases. And number two, spending money now during the recession helps us get out of it faster and actually helps us generate more income for the country and for Americans faster, and actually will pay itself off because we come out of the recession faster, and we could cut a whole year off the recession time, and that year of being back to normal will pay for the money that we've spent now in stimulus to get our economy back on track. I also get a lot of questions from people that say, well, who's going to pay for all this stimulus? Are our kids going to pay for it? Are we going to pay for it? And in reality, I've come to realize this over the past year. You know who's going to pay for it? Nobody's going to pay for it. Our debt is over $25 trillion now. If we go back 10 years, it was half of that. And nobody's going to pay for this. I mean, taxes are at an all time low, right? Not an all time low, but near an all time low right now. And our debt's at an all time high, and nobody's paying for it. It's just kind of how the world economy is. We're not the only country with this. Countries all across the world have debt, and it's just going to be the way of life. This debt is never going to be paid for. In fact, in 10 years from now, it'll probably be 35 or 40 trillion dollars. In 20 years from now, it'll probably be 50 trillion dollars, and it's just going to kind of be the way things are. The government prints money, and that's that. And a lot of people say that printing stimulus money for the economy isn't really debt per se because it's not owed to somebody. It's not like it's debt owed to China and we have to pay them interest on it. And when they send you out a stimulus check, you don't pay it back. It's not owed back. It's just tax money given back to the people. And there's no interest on it. There's no interest rate. The government doesn't have to pay interest on it every year. It goes to the national deficit, but it's not really debt that's owed. And in all fairness, it's not like they're going to double taxes more than they are now to pay for this. I mean, Joe Biden wants to raise taxes by 3% at the very highest tax rate. And there's some other minor details in there that we don't know yet until he's done, but that will not affect the vast majority of people if he raises tax by 3% to the highest tax rate to people making over $400,000 per year. So that's just kind of his plan that really doesn't have anything to do with stimulus. And in reality, the GDP with our national debt is just going to kind of be a thing that is always there. I mean, in 10 or 20 years, there's still going to be national debt. The national debt raises every year, no matter who the president is. And this has been going on for decades. And it's just kind of the way things are. So don't think that, I mean, I have a 2-year-old son, 2.5-year-old. I don't think that he's going to have to pay off this national debt by taxes being 80% or something like that. I think no president wants to raise taxes more than a little bit, and taxes are pretty much going to stay the same. They're near all-time lows, and debt is just kind of going to be, it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you have a different opinion, I would love to hear it down below in the comments. Now, Joe Biden is going to be speaking later tonight with the economic plan. Our next videos will be at 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight and 11 p.m. Eastern time tonight with new details coming out about everything that he is saying. So make sure you subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. And click the bell icon and put on all notifications so you get notified. I will see you again at 8 p.m. tonight and 11 p.m. tonight with the breaking news of the details of his stimulus package that he will be unveiling tonight. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have dozens of students that have replaced their 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon, and I teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.